Hello Steve. Hello Jill. It's time to game classy.
The general purpose wizardry.
All right.
We should just talk about general purpose wizardry.
Just dressing up as LARPing wizards at. Yeah. But see, I'd want to do that at like C2E2, not Gen Con, because Gen Con would be expected. No, I would want to do it at like a Star Trek convention or something like that.
Something where it's completely just out of left field. Yeah, that would be the best.
But they'd have to be like one guy's like dressed totally as a red wizard and then a blue wizard.
A panel at like Historicon.
Oh, that's even better.
Like, some dude's like, oh, that's why Napoleon did that. And then just like, stop, fiend! And there's like two wizards battling each other. How fast do you think we would get escorted out by security?
Well, at Historicon, not fast, because they'd have to like... I have this thing where we go to like Wizard World, not necessarily C2E2, but Wizard World in general, because Rosemont
also because it's called Wizard World.
Well, this is not the convention that I was hoping for.
That's what we can do. We can just like argue the whole time. Be like, this is not Wizard World.
I don't see any wizards here.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the rest of the wizards.
No, because I
definitely not the Wizards of Waverly Place.
That
show is not what I thought it was.
You're like, I don't see one beard amongst all these people. No, I hate rent-a-cops. Like, there's nothing I disdain more than like the fake authority that is imbued inside of a security guard, and it drives me absolutely up the wall. Like when they're like, you can't go in there. Why not? Well, you don't have the proper authorization. Well, who's authorizing this? Like, you're a mall cop. Get away from me. Go. Go protect.
So you believe in a world with no security guards?
No, well, I mean, I believe in like police. I believe in like real authority.
But they'll just shoot you. They won't tell you to.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's the reason why I don't, fuck with the police.
Because they'll just shoot you.
I say fuck the police, not fuck with the police.
Yes. Because you'll be like, how come I can't go back there? And he just guns you down.
Did you see that? He was lunging towards me.
Yeah. He was clearly about to kill us. Like another cop's like, yep, sure thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they just shove your body over on the pile with the rest of them.
They drop a bag of like oregano on me, and they're like, it's not even drugs, it's oregano.
Yeah, it looked real enough.
Exactly. But no, like
it was
I hate
dark
security.
out, and kid was running around.
It's like
he had a toy ray gun, but in the night it looked real enough.
There was one time at Wizard World where it's like I just decided to walk in the front door, and they're like, we're not letting people in here. You got to go through the side. I go, no, and I just walked in the front. I'm like, do you know who I am? And I just walked in through the front, and the guys who were with me were like, holy shit, Joe. I'm just like, he's like, you could get in trouble. I'm like, from who?
Yeah.
Like, what are they gonna do? There's 20,000 people here right now. They're not gonna do.
I mean, they could tase you. They might have tasers.
No, they don't have tasers. They have nothing. They're wearing jeans, and not even well-fitting jeans. Yeah.
How do you feel about security guards with tasers?
Well, I mean, you got to pick your battles. I mean, like I'm talking at convention security guards. I'm not talking like, like a storage facility security guard or something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm talking like
I understand now.
I'm talking the 45-year-old dude who's like severely overweight, waiting at the front door.
You're talking about Paul Blart.
Yeah. Pervert.
Paul Blart.
Yeah.
Or starring Kevin James.
Or the
hit film Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Yeah. Or the 65-year-old black woman who's standing up in the front yelling at you to show her your arm badge. It's like, come on. What are you guys going to do? It's like, you're going to get in front of me and block me? Bye-bye. I'm a 6-foot-tall, an overweight redhead with a beard and glasses. Good luck finding me in this place. So, yeah.
They just look and everyone is you.
Yeah. Fuck. Could you describe him? Yes. Everyone here.
This is like trying to find a piece of hay in a needle stack.
Pretty much. I just got that. I think it would be fun just to go dress as wizards and just interrupt every panel. Every panel. Just like even like don't show up in the wizard's robe, like have like another costume on over the wizard's robe, and then halfway through the panel you open it up and you put the hat on and the beard, and the people are all like, oh, Jesus Christ, not again.
And one person sitting at the very front, the other person sitting at the very back, so you just both get up.
Oh, so you can completely interrupt it. Come with like a voice, like a projection system with you too. So it's like you're really loud. Like you can even hijack the wireless mic system.
Nice.
because that's actually really easy to do.
Good times.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, I needed to talk about something, and now I totally forgot what I needed to talk about.
Are you recording?
Yeah, we're recording right now. I've been recording for like 5 minutes.
I didn't know.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, Steve.
Hello.
Welcome to Game Classy.
Hello.
I'm your host, Joe, and with me, as always, is the
the Baron of Burger Time.
The Baron of Burger Time. To my, I don't know, Burgermeister Burger.
It's the Baron of Burger Time and the Duke of Deuce.
Okay, the Duke of Deuce. Steve! Yay! Oh, God, I'm so tired right now. I had a late night. I actually just finished reading Ready Player One finally. So
I've heard that's a good book.
At its best, it's like it's a really fun callback to 1980s nostalgia. At its worst, it's a 1980s wank fest.
Are you excited about the upcoming hit film?
No. I mean, Spielberg's directing it, so it might be pretty good, and it might get past. But my problem is like,
when was the last time Spielberg directed a movie?
He did the War Horse, and
he directed War Horse.
He directed War Horse. He did another. I know he produced Tintin.
Man, that War Horse movie looked fucking terrible.
It was based on a stage play. What are you gonna do?
Not make it.
Yeah. He did some other prestige movie not too long ago.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
was it the hit film The Prestige? Because that's a fucking sweet movie.
Oh, that movie went on like an hour too long.
I fucking love that movie.
I always say like Christopher Nolan movies are like a half hour too long. No, The Prestige was an hour long.
That movie was awesome.
Yeah.
There was the other film too about dueling wizards. There was like 2 movies.
The
came
Illusionist.
Out. Yeah, The Illusionist. That one was also good.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. What was the? Hold on. He was the EP of. God, he produces so much shit. Let's see.
Yeah, I know he produces everything. I was just like directing. Seems like it's been a while. I bet the dude who.
Here we go.
I'm certain that the dude who wrote Ready Player One has a gigantic boner that Steven Spielberg's directing it.
Oh, he did Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
That was the other one that he did. Yeah,
because Spielberg is obviously a bastion of '80s cinema.
I mean, I think Spielberg will do a good job with it. It's going to be a little bit more like Minority Report, and I kind of like what he did with Minority Report.
I like Minority Report.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was happy with it. You know, it's still not one of my favorite Tom Cruise post-apocalyptic sci-fi movies or futuristic sci-fi movie.
I don't think there's really an apocalypse going on there.
No, not really. But
other than an apocalypse in the truth,
dystopian future. How about that? It's one of Spielberg's dystopian sci-fi movies. Like, you know, what's a Live, Die, Repeat or
the
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, they
going to the edge of tomorrow.
They should have just kept the name All You Need Is Kill.
Yeah, All You Need Is Kill. I like Live, Die, Repeat.
Live, Die, Repeat's pretty good too.
Yeah,
yeah, like that one also gets to the point as succinctly as All You Need Is Kill.
I wish that they made a Die Hard sequel called Live, Die, Repeat, Live, Die Hard. That would be awesome.
I don't think they're going to make another Die Hard movie.
Actually, the last one I kind of liked.
I liked the last one.
Yeah, when he was going up against the Russians.
I have liked all the Die Hard movies.
I didn't like the Live Free Die Hard, the 4th one that they did, where he had his daughter. I didn't like that one as much because it was one of those ones where it's like, I'm gonna hacksaw the systems and I'm gonna steal all the monies.
Kevin Smith was fucking randomly in it though.
Yeah,
so
he was.
Yeah, I was like, what the? I was like, Kevin Smith is like a huge part in this movie.
Yeah, he also like really hates Bruce Willis, which is hysterical.
Why does he hate Bruce Willis? Was it because of Cop Out?
Yeah, because he does like a really, really funny story. I don't remember, it's on one of the movies, one of those like documentaries that he does. But he tells the story of like Cop Out and like working with Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis is like the worst person in the world.
I heard Bruce Willis is absolutely terrible.
However, we would like to get him on this podcast to discuss his feelings on the recent acquisition of L5R by Fantasy Flight Games. Bruce, what do you think of this? I don't know. I mean, it's a good thing. I like the Lion Clan.
I like Hudson Hawk.
I do too. Would you like to swing on a star? Carry moonbeams home in a jar. It's an underrated classic.
I agree.
Yes. All right, so let's talk about L5R. That's the big news in the gaming world. who the fuck cares? I mean, actually, a lot of people care. People love L5R.
L5R is the CCG has existed for over 20 years.
You know, a lot of people are going to tune into this because I'll put like the title as L5R, and they're going to be like, "Oh man, Katana Guy is going to be in this episode," and I'm like, I don't think so.
No.
No. And we're not giving it to you guys.
You'd be obvious.
Yeah, it's too obvious. We don't play in that. Oh, by the way,
just like the actual role player Katana Guy, he has to come when he is not welcome.
Exactly. By the way, I was the one note because Pat always texts me like, "Listen to the podcast, give me some notes," and on Play On, and I go, "Did Steve had headphones on?" He goes, "Yeah, about halfway through," and then he took them off. I go, "Always make sure Steve keeps headphones on."
Yeah, his jack was fucking not working with my headphones.
Yeah, and then he yells at me when my headphones don't work on his jacks either. Yeah. He's like, "No, these work for everything." I'm like, "Nope, you're wrong." Yeah, and I was like,
that's I was trying to I was unplugging it and plugging it back in, trying to get it to working because it worked for like half, give or take, and then they just went kaput. So I tried fucking with them and I couldn't get them to go back on.
Well,
so
that's why I always because I say when Steve doesn't have headphones on, you can't control his highs and his lows. He gets headphones on, so he can control it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so L5R. So will this affect my Scorpion Clan political deck?
I need my Scorpion political deck for this one.
Yeah. It's exciting news. Because
it's actually really funny because we just talked about on the last podcast about how it's AEG's steadfast game has been
that but they didn't just buy the CCG, they bought the license.
Yeah.
Fantasy Flight now owns L5R starting in 2017, I guess. Or they probably own it now. No. They're because the 2017 is the launch date for the LCG.
Yeah.
So they bought the rights. They own it. So they're also going to do an RPG, I'm sure, and possibly other games using L5R.
Clan War?
I doubt they'll bring back Clan War. But man. They might do an L5R.
Miniature Adventures in Rokugan, Steve.
They might do an L5R board game.
They probably will do an L5. It's probably going to be a reskin of Shogun. Remember that game?
Shogun? Yeah, Shogun was actually relaunched not too long ago.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Shogun's a super popular game.
Yeah, I have an original box set of that from way back in the day. You get the little cup with the katanas in it. You pull the katanas out, and whoever's got the shortest katana.
The daimyo.
Yeah. Oh, but how will this affect the Crane Clan's use of the dice show?
The daimyo is going to have to approve it all.
I have no idea.
I don't think daisho is a
what's the thing with the two swords? What's that called?
The wakizashi?
No, you got the two. I think it's called a daisho where you have the katana or the small and the two swords on the belt.
Yeah, that's the katana and the wakizashi.
Yeah, I think that's called a daisho.
Is it? No,
I don't know. You know me. You're the weeaboo. You're supposed to be answering all these damn questions.
Do you want me to talk to you about anime? Because I can do that. I really like anime. I don't know fucking shit about Japan.
You know a lot about their food.
I do know a lot about their food.
Yeah,
and I have the cocktail party version of most things about Japan, because I could be like, oh yes, in Japan that's a very popular dish in the Shinto region.
The Shinto region.
People are like, isn't Shinto the religion? It's also a region.
So you throw down the smoke grenade and disappear like a ninja.
And I'm just over by the cocktail weenies eating one.
Yeah.
He didn't disappear. He's right over there.
I think it would be funnier if you disappeared and then they're looking all around and then you just fall from the ceiling.
Fuck! I was just holding onto a rafter and I fucking fall. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. Oh, man. I know they call Mount Fuji Fujisan.
Fujisan.
Which means Mr. Fuji.
I know that I can't talk about Japanese culture without talking like this.
That's because you are a raging racist.
Yeah.
I'm not racist against anyone except for the Irish. They took our jobs.
Yeah, all of our good railway jobs. Building that railway.
The Exclusion Act should have been for the Irish.
We took our lumps, but it was all right.
We still got our potatoes.
What you gonna do about it, Sonny? No, so
late 1800s humor, the Exclusion Act, and the Irish.
The ethnic stylings of Dugan and Dershowitz. So the Fantasy Flight basically just it's AEGs. Do they no longer exist anymore?
What they got Smash Up.
I guess.
They got Love Letter.
They do have Love Letter. Love Letter's huge.
Yeah. They got Love Letter and they got Smash Up. Both games are very successful.
Yeah, that's true.
And Love Letter's very quickly turning into Munchkin with how many versions of Love Letter there are. There's a fucking Batman Love Letter.
I know. I was going to say the Batman Love Letter.
Yeah.
I'm writing a love letter to you, Batman.
Which Bane was in it. Did you get my letter? No, Bane, I didn't see it.
Once Gotham is in ashes, then I give you permission to mail it.
No, Bane, I didn't see it. Oh, it was a lovely letter. I even spritzed it with a little bit of perfume
So I'm
to complete the event.
So for comic book logic, the next one we're doing is the 1989 Batman, and it was funny because I had watched it earlier yesterday, and then at night the Dark Knight was on TV, so it was like I got to watch the two Joker movies back to back. Holy shit! It's like night and day.
I actually like Batman, the Tim Burton one.
Yeah.
However, I think that's actually a bad Batman movie, but a really good Tim Burton movie.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
Yeah, because everyone talks about how like Jack Nicholson was super great as the Joker. Jack Nicholson, what he did in that movie is good for that movie.
Yeah.
As the Joker, he's terrible. Why is he running around with the fucking the paintbrush and like really into art?
You know what that was? I was kind of talking. I was thinking about this in the terms that it's more like that's kind of a nod to the 1966 Batman, where they're doing like because he has a whole crew dressed up in like Joker jackets.
Yeah, they're like super
and
silly.
got Joker hats on.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a nod to that, where he has like his goons and they're going around. He's dancing to Prince and like painting.
While at the same time, when he like debuts as the Joker, he has a very comic style Joker plan where he's like, I've randomly poisoned just shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you bought fucking lipstick? Yeah, there's poison in that. Oh, actually, it's your kid's SpaghettiOs. So, like, that was
it's
super Joker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think
especially with how he hijacked the airways and love that Joker.
You're kind of I think you're tainted a little bit by the fact that you love the Mark Hamill Joker like I do. And and that's
I mean, as everyone should.
That's the definitive Joker. So it's like, and you got to remember
he really is.
You got to remember that Nicholson's Joker predates Hamill's Joker by a couple years. 4 years, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Cesar Romero is also an excellent Joker.
Why do you look like Cesar Romero? Because you do not know who Cesar Chavez looks like. What's Cesar Chavez?
Caesar, I'm not shaving my fucking mustache, Romero.
My favorite part of the Cesar Romero Joker is when he go like
the Muttley?
Muttley.
Yeah.
And he'd like look all like crazy and stuff.
Yeah. And he refused to shave his mustache, so it was awesome. His
Mexican
fucking mustache right under his makeup. Oh, man.
I learned very early that Mexican grandmothers loved Cesar Romero. Yeah. That was like he was their heartthrob.
Unfortunately for them, Cesar Romero liked men.
Yeah. Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's super well known because he's from the '60s, so that's still like the very much like we don't discuss these things.
Like Liberace or Rock Hudson, they're all manly men.
Yeah, Liberace, the fucking manliest man in the world. Have you seen a picture of Liberace? Like that dude is the gayest man in the world. He's still the gayest man in the world.
Even though he's been dead for 20 years.
Still got the champ. He's still champ.
That's actually a pretty good movie to watch, the Behind the Candelabra.
I heard it's really good.
It's interesting to watch. Anyway, where are we going? We were talking about AEG. Oh yeah, so AEG they sold it to
Fantasy Flight.
Fantasy Flight. Now Fantasy Flight's going to be doing, which I think is in better hands. I think Fantasy Flight. I think that game might work better as an LCG.
One of the biggest issues of the CCG is that the box would come out and then there'd be one website, Potomac Distribution. I don't know if the AEG dumped product there or however it was done. They would be selling the boxes at like half MSRP. So that was hugely damaging to the game in terms of like a hobby market, because no store wants to carry a product that their customers are going to get online for half the fucking price.
Yeah.
That's not even something you could reasonably match. Even if you were getting like the best, like I know distribution prices and stuff, and I can say that the best price I can get a customer for that product is nowhere near that. Like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I have no idea how that they were offering that price, because they obviously aren't losing money on it because they do it every time a new set releases. So that was a huge thing. And there was also that was one of the things that was causing World of Warcraft, the card game, to not
take off
in the channel, in the hobby channel, because like there's a few places that supported it and they had some things, but like there was a place called Metamart, I believe was the name, and Metamart just had dump prices. And I think a lot of times those like big guys, they're a shell or shill for the company. Not like AEG probably has no stake or anything in Potomac, but they've got some sort of deal with them where they shuffle this much product at this price.
Yeah.
And they're just like, and they just like dump it.
Yeah, probably something silly like that.
So now that that's off the table, there's a chance for the game, which is by all accounts one of the best CCGs. Period.
Yeah.
People will actually have a chance to actually really play.
Well,
it.
yeah. Now they'll be doing the LCG style, so you could get all of the cards and not have to go through.
I am interested to see how they're going to do the LCG because there's so many clans.
Yeah, but you know what? That's you know, but it works in their system for a couple reasons. One, unlike Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and what's the other? Oh, The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings,
And Call of Cthulhu.
Call of Cthulhu. Well, Call of Cthulhu is a little different. But let's talk about those three. Those are set worlds with like set things. Like they can't expand the storyline. The cool thing about not Clan War, but L5R was that they were always pushing the storyline further and further and further.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'll continue the
but
story events.
That's what's kind of cool about that, and as different than most of their LCGs is that you can, you know, have an LCG tournament for L5R and have the winner actually dictate future sets.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be a thing. The thing I was wondering though is like how they're going to actually like logistically handle so many clans in the set, because all of their games, all of their LCGs that have factions, they're small. So like Call of Cthulhu has 4 factions.
Yeah.
Then Netrunner has 6.
Netrunner's the other one,
Yeah, Netrunner has 6.
Netrunner, you
so,
can push the storyline too.
Yeah, which they are doing as far as I know.
Well, L5R, but there's like 8 clans.
I thought there was a lot more.
Well,
but...
let me see if I can remember this from back in my day. This is old school. This is Clan War, so I'm sure I know they've added like 2 or 3 new clans.
There's Mantis.
Well, no, that's not one of the originals. The originals are
They're an existing clan now.
Yeah. Well, you got Crane, Crab, Scorpion, Unicorn, the Dragon, Phoenix, Lion, and I'm missing one. Well, I know there's now they have Mantis, Wolf,
Spider.
I think there's a Turtle clan.
I believe so.
The
foot. Oh
God
man.
Almighty. I know I'm missing 1 or 2, but yeah, so that's almost about 10 clans. But I'm sure if they did, because I think 1 or 2 of the major clans are probably have been wiped out since I've last paid attention to everything. And
That's probably what I'm thinking. They'll probably roll out like my guess. Obviously, I have no fucking idea, but my guess is they're going to do like 4...
not to mention the Shadowlands,
right? That's like the Nezumi and shit.
The Oni-san.
Oni-chan.
That's so hard.
Oh man, that movie's fucking good. That's a real good movie.
That movie makes no sense.
Well, you know it's not because it's not complete.
Yeah, because the what is it? The manga is like 12 editions wide. And
the manga's very long, but it's still like the thing I like about Akira is that it's a complete story. There's no filler. The manga is long, but it's not long like Dragon Ball Z or like one of those like 600 episode epics, which is nice.
Yeah. I just remember Akira was of course the first anime I ever saw. Because,
most people.
Yeah, because it's like that would be the only one that was in the video store, and I'd be like, "What's this cartoon? This looks interesting. What the fuck did I just watch? I want to watch more of it. What's this? Dark City? Oh man."
Yeah. That's Wicked City.
Oh, Wicked City, sorry.
Yeah, where she's got the spider vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Wicked City.
nothing could possibly be weirder than this.
So I just brought up. That's really weird. I was talking about Wicked City yesterday.
That's weird.
Like specifically Wicked City.
It wasn't to me.
Huh.
Like yeah.
That's just a weird thing. I was like, because I just thought of that. I had that flash, and I was like, I was literally just talking about this.
Should have been talking about Spider-Man.
I need pictures. Nudes of Spider-Man.
I watched.
You know what? These aren't pictures of Spider-Man. These are pictures of Saul Spider-Man.
Saul Spider-Man.
Oh, it's me, Saul Spider-Man. I gotta climb up the wall to get these bagels.
I'm not. You probably haven't, but have you seen Whiplash?
No.
It's got J.K. Simmons in it, the guy who plays J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, okay.
That's the movie he won the Academy Award for, and it's about him being like he's like a band instructor, and he's like but like a high level one, like a competition jazz band thing. But it's seriously, it sounds so stupid, but he is the most terrifying villain I have seen in a movie in 10 years.
Yeah.
I never watched a movie and felt more tense when he was on screen than any other person. Probably, I couldn't name a person I felt more tense. Like even Anton Chigurh from, Old No Country for Old Men.
That dude's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. No. He was scarier than him.
Scarier than Chigurh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I'll give it away because I know you're probably never going to watch Whiplash, but
yeah, I won't.
Yeah. But there's the end of the movie, like there was this betrayal that happened.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
For Whiplash,
Yeah.
the band instructor movie.
There's a scene at the end where it's like there's this betrayal that happens, and then like the one character's hoping that the other character doesn't find out about it, and J.K. Simmons' character doesn't find out about it, and J.K. Simmons looks at the character and goes, "I know it was you." And it was just like, oh!
That's really funny.
Like you kind of figured that he knew because like he's the type of guy that would not be like acting like he's acting at the end of the movie, but you're like, oh man.
Oh, don't put it in your pocket. If you put it in your pocket, it's just a quarter. You keep it out. It's your lucky quarter.
Friendo.
Fuck.
Yeah, so I mean the LCG with all the clans, they'll be able to figure that out.
I'm thinking they'll do. They have a lot of options. Obviously, they know what they're doing. I'm sure they'll do it fine. But my initial guess is like what I would do is I would do like if there are 8 clans, say I don't know exactly how many there are in like contemporary L5R.
Yeah.
Let's say there's 8. So like the first block, so starter like core set launches with 4 clans, and then you buff those clans with the first 6 chapter packs.
Yeah.
And then there's the deluxe set, which are like the bridge sets. They're bigger.
Yeah.
That one is 4 new clans.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of like you roll the product in waves, so like everyone gets supported.
Yeah. Actually,
Who knows?
If it was me, like if I had to do it, and of course I'm old school, I haven't played L5R, Clan War, or Disc Wars.
Unless they do an epic styled LCG where like the starter instead of being 40 price point is more expensive, and you get a lot more product, and then there's more
Like a 4 starter deck instead of a 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a bigger. There's just way more content.
Well, the way I would do it is I would wipe out all L5R contemporary, like all the storyline that's been built up over the years. I mean, go back to the basic roots of the game and start over. So that way you're not like completely alienating all of the older players because you still are holding on to the basic, the basic storyline, the legend of the 5 rings. But then you could also bring in a bunch of new players without having to worry about all that old fucking,
What are the
fluff.
5 rings? Do you know?
I believe it's Earth, Wind, Air, Water, Fire, and the Void.
And Heart.
No, it's actually the opposite of Heart. It's the Void, which you and I have in our souls when it comes to talking about people's favorite games.
But by your powers combined. I was trying to make a sweet Captain
By
Planet
your
joke.
powers combined, I am Captain Game Classy. Your favorite game blows.
This game's terrible.
There's no balance in this. Go away, fool.
Play this game. It's got a 10 out of 10. Literally 100% people like it. It's fucking garbage. Look at the artwork. It's so bad.
You know why people like this game? Because people are stupid. They're stupid, and you're stupid for liking
They're
this
the
game.
worst.
Yeah.
No fun allowed.
No fun. That robot.
The fucking robot.
I'll make that the new little icon for us. There is no fun allowed in
No
gaming.
fun allowed.
Exactly. Unless you're playing a game like, I don't know, fucking, you have to play War of the Ring, a game that only 4 people ever played.
Yes.
Or War Master.
Fun is allowed, but it's only esoteric.
It's only esoteric. You can't. Or you play the game Guess Who. Guess Who is fun.
Does he have a mustache? No, you idiot. You already asked me if he has facial hair.
Facial hair is a mustache.
You fucking stupid. I'm going to crush you at Guess Who. My God, you're so bad.
What?
Is it Saul? No, it's not fucking Saul. That's Saul Spider-Man.
Me and my buddy Nick, we used to have a game. We have a version of Guess Who where you'd play, but you were not allowed to ask any questions on the physical appearance of the person. So you had to be like, does this person look like they would be really into horses at an early age? You're like, then you have to take a guess
Are
on
their
it.
eyes soulless?
Exactly, stuff like that. Does this person look like they were in the shit in Vietnam?
Oh, yeah.
It's
a dude. He's got a fucking beret on. It's just like the 1,000-yard stare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Does this person look like their parents took the nausea drugs in the 1970s while they were giving birth, or thalidomide? There you go. Yeah. He looks like he's got definitely got flipper hands. All right, click, 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 click. That's the way you play Guess Who. Yeah. That's the adult way of playing Guess Who. Also, you got to do a shot, just every time.
Every question?
Every
You're
question.
You're gonna die.
I'm sorry, that's just the rules.
Man, this is a dangerous fucking game.
Like, you know what? Guess Who is a fucking dangerous game.
Didn't realize it was Guess Who Russian Roulette edition.
Yeah.
How do you do that? You just fucking get a fucking 6-shooter, spin it, and if you guess wrong, you point the gun at the other guy, pull the trigger.
So we got that's I'd be interested in seeing what their role playing game is too. However, I do feel like playing a Japanese style, like a full on samurai RPG like that, would get a little weeaboo really quick.
No, you're misusing weeaboo here.
I mean, but I mean, like, you get a little too Japanesey.
But it's not. That's like saying chop suey is Chinese.
Well,
it's because it's an Americanized version of a fantasized Eastern realm. So no matter how deep into Rokugan you get and how much knowledge you know about fucking Rokugan, it does not apply to the real world at all. Other than when you're discussing Rokugan with people who also like Rokugan.
But Steve, what if my character's a crane crab person who was on the wall against the Shadowlands for 5 years?
You're already messing it up.
And I got the crane crab was on the crab clan. There we go.
Okay. Now we're talking. You're only from one clan.
Okay. What if I'm from the crab clan, and I'm on the wall protecting the Rokugan from the Shadowlands? Isn't that what happens in Japan all the time?
Only crab clash.
Oh man,
$900 dues. Fucking love dollar dues.
Well, that's the official currency of Australia, as we've learned from a lot of our
dollary dues. It's official. We have it from Australians.
Yes, $900 dues. Oh man,
and then I think one of them made a prime minister joke, and I didn't get it because I don't know who that is.
Hey, Andy.
Remember this?
Fucking, their economy's tanking because of China.
I mean, that's going to be everywhere soon.
That's what they get for being in the South Pacific. Bunch of thieves.
Damn. Calling out the Australians.
Yeah, at least they're not New Zealanders.
I like to call it danger zone. Hey, New Zealand's great. I'll just stab you. I just refer to it as the danger zone. That's Australia.
Well, the narrow strip of land on both coasts where people can actually live.
Yep. Yeah. And then, live is questionable because there's everything that kills you.
Yes, everything will kill you.
Yeah. New Zealand is like safe Australia. Mm-hmm. It's like the not danger zone.
Yeah, because there's like no spiders or snakes on New Zealand. There's just those big weta crickets.
Those are awesome. They're super cool. You can feed them carrots.
I don't care.
Why not? It's really cool.
Those things are disgusting looking.
They're just big crickets.
Can you eat them?
I'm sure they're bugs. You can eat them.
Well, let's go on to the next.
It's probably actually it would probably be really hard to eat them because they're so big.
Well, I mean, you could if you got a bunch of them, you could probably fry them up or something. I don't know.
Right. Well, I don't know because different bugs cook differently, I guess, because a lot of times you eat smaller bugs are easy because you cook them and you eat them.
Yeah, like crickets and stuff. Yeah,
right. Yeah, but those guys are real big, so I don't know how eating them would go because I think maybe if you cook them, you could maybe eat the insides.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like crab or something. You know, because that's all crab is a water insect.
Yeah. Crab. I want to see the crab. There's a Japanese dude who was he was in Boston, I guess, for a show. And he's super Japanese. He does not really speak English, and he was trying to ask the audience if they like crab because he had eaten crab, and it's Boston, and he's like, "Do you like a crab?" And everyone's just like, "Yeah!" And he's like, "I'm going to eat a crab," and they're like, "Yeah." So I just call crabs crafts.
There you go,
crafts.
So let's move on to the next fantasy flight.
Instead of being crabby, I'm craffy.
You're craffy.
Craffy.
So fantasy flight.
Endo.
So you were telling me fantasy flight pissed off some people with X-wing.
Oh yeah, The Force Awakens. # Force Friday. Holy shit! First, we've gone on some good Star Wars tirades.
Yeah.
Already. I'm just gonna say. the amount of plastic diarrhea that is exploding out of the anus of Lucasfilm, Disney, and Hasbro right now.
Star Wars is not a movie series; it's a toy line.
Fucking disgusting. and I like toys. Toys are
You
cool.
do. You have way more toys than I do.
Yeah, I like toys. Toys are neat. They're cool.
And you have a lot of toys that don't move.
But well, yeah, those are called statues. Jizz statues.
Just statues.
But there is it's the toys themselves are like the least offensive because it's like, okay, it's toys.
Yeah,
but
it's a little action figure.
But there's tons of them. There's a Yoda that's this big. There's Yoda that's this big. There's Yoda that's this big. There's a talking Yoda. There's a talking Yoda that doesn't talk. There's a stuffed Yoda. There's and like every fucking character has like that many number of things. Just like I don't think anyone really wants to buy like a giant stuffed, I don't know, Twi'lek. Unless you're gonna bang it.
Wait, tell me more about this giant stuffed Twi'lek.
It's mostly like it's not like the character like Yoda. At least Yoda was actually a bad example for me to use because Yoda's a character that at least makes sense to have a lot of product for. Because
you're talking like Bib Fortuna,
right? Why is there like 27 fucking Bib Fortuna toys? Like little kids probably don't know who fucking Bib Fortuna is, other than the fact he looks like he has a giant dick wrapped around his head.
Bib Fortuna,
so bad. But like
Bib Fortuna,
the non-toy shit that's coming out is fucking ridiculous. Like, why are there lightsaber barrettes and this and that and this and that? There's just so much shit for a movie that nobody has seen yet.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm going to buy all the new Star Wars toys because I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I'm going to buy this character because this character looks really cool. That's like Captain Phasma's. I think Captain Phasma is going to be the most disappointing part of the movie because people are super excited about it.
And it's going to be like a 5-second thing.
Right. It's going to be like Boba Fett where it's just like, hey, that's Captain Phasma. Yep.
And she's gone.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, nope, not in it. Yep, not a movie anymore.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, I think they're hedging their bets. They don't want another Jar Jar where it's like, you know, like everyone's gonna love Jar Jar. Then the movie comes out and there's like thousands of unsold Jar Jars.
Yeah, well, introducing a new villain is always safer than introducing a new heroic character. And actually,
well, they're all new characters.
Jar Jar's super popular.
Well, yeah. But
Jar Jar's actually popular. I know.
Hey, see this guy? This is Jar Jar. He's going to be the shit. Here comes Dark Side. That movie's so terrible.
The Fanboys?
Yeah,
it's not a good movie.
Well, no, it's a good movie, but it's just sad when you break it down because you're like, oh, this kid's dying of cancer, and his last wish is to see Star Wars Episode 1. What a terrible way to go out. Like, that piece of shit. But you know what? When I was
His little speech at the end was pretty cool.
When I was 18 and I saw Star Wars Episode 1, I loved it. It took me a couple years and some maturity to realize it was a piece of shit.
You had to stew on it.
Yeah.
You had to stew on it.
Yeah.
I remember liking when I first saw it, obviously, same thing. I was younger. I was younger than you at the time.
Okay.
But I didn't like the pod race because it went on for forever. I loved the end of the movie where there was the lightsaber fight and then the ground troops fight and then the fucking space battle. Like that was really cool.
Wizard Annie.
That's Wizard Annie. But that movie just falls apart if you look at it with any amount of scrutiny.
Oh yeah.
Like, if I had just watched that movie once in the theater at that time and never looked at it again, I probably would still be like, oh yeah, that was pretty good.
It was fine. Yeah.
But because it's a Star Wars movie, and I watched Star Wars movies multiple times, by the time I got back and I was like, wow, that movie sucked. And then even by the time episode 2 come out, I was like, episode 1 was bad.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that this next Star Wars movie, I'm probably going to be like, okay, it's good. I'm not going to be like, this is the greatest thing ever, and just like masturbating furiously all over the person in front of me.
I mean, it's cool that people are super into it, whatever, but like, fucking A, like, cut it out. Let's just fucking relax a little bit.
As me and you showed by the robot, no fun is allowed. You're only allowed to like.
It's true. I mean,
is it RoboCop? Then you're not allowed to like
Lord of the Rings was guilty of that as well. There were so many Lord of the Rings toys, and it's just like... It's like the Lord of the Rings toys had the same joke that the Lord of the Rings miniatures have. It's just like, hey, look, another Gandalf.
Well, I mean, and it's like it's yeah. I mean, it's there's. I always think like the spaceships, for example. Right now, you can get a Lego Millennium Falcon, like 2 different versions of the Lego Millennium Falcon, 2 different toy versions of the Millennium Falcon, multiple model kits of the Millennium Falcon, like all sorts of shit for the Millennium Falcon. It's like, do we really need all this? I remember back in the day, you had one Millennium Falcon toy.
It opened up, you could put Star Wars toys in it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the Millennium Falcon.
And if you wanted a Lego Millennium Falcon, you better get a bunch of Legos and do your best to make it look like the fucking Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
The old boxy fucking looking Millennium Falcon. Yeah.
It's the Falcon.
But some people are
Let's
getting
go, Chewie.
some people are getting pissed off at Fantasy Flight because of that.
Oh, specifically because during #Force Friday,
#Force Friday.
they also unveiled and launched the X-Wing miniatures core set for Force Awakens.
Yeah, I saw
however,
that. Yeah.
it was launched exclusively at Target,
Oh, that sucks.
and I think Disney stores had it as well. So that means that a hobby channel game that's lives entirely because of its existence in the hobby channel
Yeah.
was given an exclusive to a big box store like Target. So people immediately rushed out and started buying the 18 to 24 copies that were at Targets and selling them on eBay for like $100, which is kind of funny because at the same moment you could pre-order it on Amazon immediately for its intended release date of the 18th for retail price $40. So like people were buying this thing on eBay for a disgustingly exaggerated price, like disgustingly.
Yeah, because they're
And it's coming out in 2 fucking weeks. Like it was 2 weeks ahead of time. However, because of this came out, there's like the market saturation. Like any store that has a small X-Wing community, like there's no reason to get that product in your store because they've already got it at Target. Like it's over. So people are pretty upset with Fantasy Flight.
I would imagine so.
I know a guy who's discontinuing his store support of the X-Wing game because of it.
Yeah.
And it's just because like a lot of these games, like they're fringe, like X-Wing's super popular, but just like any game, it could disappear tomorrow.
Yeah.
You never know when the cold gaze of the gamer will look to the left and be like, this is the next Dice Masters.
Well, it's actually kind of funny that you mentioned that because here's my bi-weekly mention of
Buy 'em on Sci-Fi-Con?
Buy 'em on Sci-Fi-Con of Bolt Action. There was a big to-do with the game because one of the bigger support like sites for Bolt Action, a couple of the guys like just stopped playing and they went on.
Did they quit to Age of Sigmar?
No, they went to Star Wars Armada.
Oh.
And everyone was like, "What?" But I'm like, some gamers are flighty. They'll be like, "Ooh, what's this game?"
That or you just get sick of shit.
Yeah, I mean, you do after a while. I mean, I love Bolt Action. I play it all the time, but I'm tired of painting it right now, so I'm painting something different. I'm still playing, but I'm painting something different.
Dicks.
No, War Master. Paint some War Master.
Little dicks.
Little dicks. Little tiny dicks. 10mm dicks.
Tiny, tiny dicks.
Yeah. And so, but yeah.
Hold me closer, tiny dick.
Hold my dick, tiny closer. What?
Hold my tiny dick closer.
There you go. It took a while. We had to work through it, but we got it.
We did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we did it.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, they did.
Freedom delivered.
Speaking of Armada, did you see the previews for the big ships, the Imperial class Star Destroyer?
Yeah.
It's fucking huge.
Yeah,
what the fuck are you doing with that?
It's Armada.
It's like, but I mean, it's gigantic.
Yeah, it's a huge fucking ship.
What does this even do? It's just fucking giant.
The one thing I do like about Armada specifically is it's gotten people playing spaceship games, which are pretty cool.
I was talking with a guy just on Wednesday. I was talking with Tom. I'm a sucker for spaceship games. Just like a.
Did you pick up the Halo Fleet Battle Starter?
No. No.
Halo, bro. It's Halo.
We're gonna reenact some scenes from Red v Blue.
No, that's ground troops.
Whatever.
Fleet Battles is only in space. It's really funny though because I'm not super familiar with Halo. I played the first two, but to my knowledge, there is not a single playable space battle in the entire franchise.
Nope.
Very good.
Never understood why Spartan Games decided to go with a spaceship battle as opposed to a ground troop game. Which no sense whatsoever. But whatever, the ships look cool.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna argue. All the components are very sexy in that game.
There's space battles in cutscenes.
Yeah,
but like not playable. So I don't think a lot of like Halo fan like it's just a weird like a FPS bro shooter. Like that's your license. Little kids like it though.
You know what I was thinking? Remember how I think it was not last week, but the week before, or last episode, but the episode before, we were talking about like ideal properties and stuff like that for game sizes. I was thinking that a kind of a skirmish game based around Mass Effect would be fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it would work.
I mean, like when you think about it, it's like it's got everything that you need right there, and it's got different factions, and you got mercenaries, you got all of that fun stuff. You can, lots. You can customize your guys in any way, like just like the game. You also have space battles. You have lots of different aliens that you can customize. Like, I was thinking that would be fucking perfect.
Except they can't get anywhere because all the mass relays are destroyed.
Yes. So. Well, we can have it take place before Mass Effect 3. It's not like we have to have it take place after Mass Effect 3. Unless, of course, you're having FemShep or ManShep in your game.
Or maybe both.
Ooh.
Now kiss. Oh, Shepard, you're so hot. I'm totally hot. You're super hot too, Shepard.
Glimpse into our world. But yeah, I was thinking that like that would actually be a really cool spaceship game too, because they have all the spaceships that you could put in the game, and you could do some really cool stuff. And plus, that would be a game that I would be like, give that to fucking whiz kids. Have them fucking make all the pre-painted ships or whatever, and just have them come out and just do that. You get your little. No, they would be all out of scale. They'd be fucking terrible. Don't give it to WizKids.
WizKids is bad.
Yeah,
and should feel bad.
Yeah, but I mean, you could get your little.
Except for the
Normandy.
WizKids does have an upcoming Pathfinder battle set.
Yeah,
it is the best. It's the best concept. I think I might have talked about it on.
Is it the one with the bar fight? Yeah, we talked about that before. Yeah,
I'm just, my boner for that thing is super. I'm not going to get it because I've gotten into the fool's gold of buying a bunch of pre-painted plastic miniatures for role playing purposes and
never using them.
Not even just not using them. It's an actual nightmare to just your prep time as a GM is already like.
Yeah,
huge. Like you need to do a whole bunch of things to get the game running and get things started, etc.
Adding that hype train going.
Adding in the like, I need to get all of these fucking models organized, set up, and like at easy access. It makes it super hard to just do like you fight skeletons. Just like fucking throw skeletons on the table. It's like they appear.
I like the idea. No. Mainly, what happens is you get your grid map laid out on the table. You have the bar set up. You have all these patrons in like very specific places that you're describing, and then your fat ass Cheeto eating gamer sits down, and knocks it all over. Oh, I'm sorry.
Or the cat runs over.
Yeah,
the cat takes the fucking. It's like no, that's Mary Bell.
Yeah. No, it would be a gamer like spilling his soda all over everything.
Yeah. Well, I think.
Sorry, guys, party foul.
My bad. Next round of Mountain Dew is on me. It was a golem. Sorry. I thought it was a goblin, but it was a golem. Sorry. That's my mistake. That's,
Mom, we need Mountain Dew.
It's actually a Juju zombie. I thought it was a regular zombie. It's a Juju zombie. We're in a lot of trouble. Sorry, guys. I got to in this mess. Let me see if I can get out of it by casting a magic missile spell.
Did I ever tell you my theory that I think Vin Diesel is a golem?
He's just like he's just like a homunculus.
Yeah, he's a flesh homunculus. I believe he was created during World War II in the ghettos of Budapest.
He does kind of look like Roger from Hellboy.
I think that he was created, and he's because he doesn't age either.
He would actually play he would be a sick Roger. Now that I think about it, Vin Diesel would be an awesome cast as Roger.
Too bad they're never doing Hellboy 3.
I don't know about that.
No, they're never doing Hellboy. Did you read? I've read a couple of the articles. Like that script is never going to get produced. But yeah, I think he never
say never when it comes to Guillermo del Toro. He made Pacific Rim.
He did. And he's doing a second one.
That movie was fucking awesome.
I liked it a lot, but it was. I don't know if it deserved it deserves a sequel.
I'm excited, and I will go see the sequel. But what are they going to do?
Hey, that's kind of how I feel about it.
The story is totally complete in that. There's a complete arc. There's the prelude, the explanation, the world building, the challenge. Then like
the denouement.
Then there's the big fucking monsters and that dude from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, fucking tripping balls. Ron Perlman being cool, and then they saved the day, and like the movie's over. Like and they saved the day like completely. Like it's like not only did we win, but we won in such a way that prevents it from happening again.
Yeah.
So,
no, I completely agree. I kind of feel like it's like, okay, it happened. It's good.
Yeah. Unless they're doing covering the battles pre Pacific Rim.
They're not going to. It'll be a sequel. It's not a prequel.
Yeah.
So.
This is just weird.
Yeah. But anyway, what was I saying? Fuck. Oh yeah, I think he's totally a homunculus, and he literally, because no human being that has a soul could possibly make the Fast and the Furious movies.
Have you seen them? They're fantastic action movies.
But they're completely soulless. It's all action.
They're about explosions and driving cars.
Yeah, that's what I say. No human
and
being.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
No human being with a soul could
could be a really good Roger Homunculus.
No way. Not with that. Not with those eyebrows.
Because he's too big.
He's too big.
You have to shave his eyebrows.
Yeah. No. The Rocky. The
He's just too jacked.
Yeah, he's
the mountain.
Yeah. I don't know, but I do like Vin Diesel's love, and that's why I think he loves D&D because it reminds him of
his creation.
Yeah,
that movie with him looks really good. The Last Witch Hunter.
The Last Witch Hunter, which is based off his D&D character.
Sick.
I'm excited about that. But what other gaming news? Oh yeah, something I wanted to talk about for a while, and I have not talked about it, was the D&D debacle at Gen Con. I don't want
Dungeons and Debacles.
Dungeons and Debacles. No, so apparently, like, they charged a bunch of extra money so that you could run a D&D scenario with the DM. You know, like they always do at Gen Con. You know, they have like a pre-made adventure.
Oh yeah, which miniatures, the pre-made miniatures are great for.
Yeah,
that's what pre-made miniatures are for. They're not for your homebrew. We're playing an adventure that's driven by the players.
Yeah.
They are exactly perfectly made for things like Pathfinder Society events and D&D events, where like this is the dungeon, these are the monsters.
Yeah,
go.
So apparently, it was like you had to pay extra money to do this. Like it was like you couldn't just sit down or like sign up for it. You had to pay extra money to do it. That's
standard.
Yeah, but then the adventure was like made for like 3 hours, and they gave players only like 1 hour to do it, so no one got through the adventure.
Wow.
And they like all of like the different levels were mixed up, so like level 1 players were playing with like level 12 players, and it's just like they just completely fucked it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds very poorly organized.
Exactly. Not like the game classy ones where we're just like
we just don't do it.
No.
We set up a booth, we set up everything, and then people show up and nothing happens. we don't even show up.
I would love. You know what we should do? We should set up a booth at Gen Con where it's like, run a dungeon with Game Master Steve, and you sit down, and literally every time someone starts playing, you're like, you enter the cave, rocks fall, you're dead. Move on. The next people come and sit down.
I would do it even classier than that. Just like, all right,
yeah.
The cave looms ahead of you, adventurer. A foul stench emits from the dragon-like jaw of the cave. Sulfur and brimstone burn your nostrils. What do?
I guess I'll go into the cave. I'll brandish my sword and shield.
Very well, brave adventurer. As you step into the cave, you see something glint out of the corner of your eye. Take a saving throw. What's the roll?
I got a 19.
A Gorgon looked at you and turned you to stone. You're fucking dead. Get off my table.
And you like smack his miniature off.
Smack his model. Stone. Give me your character sheet and fucking tear it up.
Tear it up right in front of him.
Give me that sheet. Just fucking confetti it. Yeah. And then I would do that same spiel for every single person. Just like, take a saving throw. What did you roll?
I got a natural 20.
You failed your saving throw. You're turned to stone by a basilisk, and it'll just be different things turning them to stone. A Catalobopos looked at you, turned you to stone.
Oh, no,
Not a Catalobopos.
we'll do like the games that have like the big wheel, like where you get the prize for the wheel, like on the royal. But we'll just have it, and every prize is just an insult from Steve.
And I said Gorgon. I meant to say a Medusa because a Gorgon is a giant bull, and they also turn you to stone, but they do it with their gas.
Oh,
breath.
okay. Yeah.
So I misspoke.
Well, Gorgon can still turn you to stone.
Right, but I said gaze attack,
okay.
and that would be from Medusa.
The Medusa.
So sorry. Sorry. Gorgon. It was actually a Medusa.
Yeah. I mean, because D&D just released their Underdark.
Out of the Abyss.
Out of the Abyss.
Yeah. Cool idea for an adventure. You start as a group of level. I don't know if you.
I've looked at it. I haven't actually gotten it yet because I usually get my books from you.
Everyone starts as level 1 characters, and you are prisoners of the Drow.
Ooh.
And
why wasn't it called Prisoners of the Drow? That's a great name for the book.
Well, the Abyss is specifically mentioned for a reason.
Yeah.
It is an escape, multiple stage adventure. You break out of prison, and you have to escape the Underdark, while a giant 2-headed demon is chasing your party.
Yes.
It's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
And I think it goes from level 1 to 12.
Wow.
So that's a pretty epic fucking adventure.
That is. See, I love the fucking pre-made D&D adventures now. They're so good.
Yeah.
So much better than anything that's been in the past. I mean,
Minus some of the old Gygax stuff, which is just like so classic and iconic of like D&D.
Yeah, but I mean, like
It's Greyhawk. There's fucking shit everywhere.
That's what I always imagine about, like, if anyone asks Gygax, like, hey man, how come there's so much shit in Greyhawk? And he's like,
Because there's fucking Greyhawk. There's shit everywhere. What the fuck's wrong with you? Take a saving throw.
Medusa. Turn to stone.
It was a cockatrice. You're turned to stone.
But but out of the new ones, I think the only one that I would say is really weak.
There's a lot of fucking D&D things that turn you to stone.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
Now that I'm really thinking about it, there's a fuck ton.
It's either it's a really dangerous place or people are really unoriginal. No, the Tyranny of Dragons was a little weak. It felt pretty rushed when going through it. When I looked through it and everything, I was like, this is the Temple of Elemental Evil was very, very good, but I kind of feel like it's a little all over the place. It wasn't organized that well. It's pretty solid though. I mean, I'm not, I wouldn't knock it, but this Into the Abyss looks fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And plus it's got
Out of the Abyss.
Out of the Abyss. And you know what it's got? Dritz Stewart with his twin swords.
I would cut him out.
You would cut him out of this.
I would be like, this is you're rescued by a drow. His name is Bitch. He has 2 swords and a stupid ass panther. He gets you out, and you're like, thanks, bitch. And then the panther eats him, but it eats him starting balls first.
It eats him, and then the panther disappears because it's not actually a panther; it's a spirit totem.
And then as it's eating him balls first, a dark dwarf comes up behind it and rams a pickaxe up its ass, and Bitch and the panther are both dead.
And he screams, "I was a terrible Mary Sue character who was ripped off of Elric Melbourne."
And Elric's the fucking jam. Fucking Storm. His fucking sword is named Stormbringer. Fucking Stormbringer.
Well, that's what
which is also a totally sick magic card that almost no one knows is a reference to Elric because like it's a green card that does damage to players for cards in their hand, and the fucking picture is a goddamn sword with lightning behind it. It's called Stormbringer.
One of my favorite.
Fuck, dude, that sword is bitchin'.
One of my favorite things in like it's kind of like a fantasy like nod. It's not a nod, but it's funny if you get the reference. Is that okay? So Dritz is a ripoff of Elric, and Malus Darkblade is a ripoff of Dritz. So Malus Darkblade is a ripoff of 2 better characters.
It's true.
Malus Darkblade, of course, on his Cold One spite with his sword Soul Drinker or whatever the fuck it's called. It's just
just to be clear, Stormbringer is a very cool sword, but it is not as cool as Anduril, Flame of the West, reforged from the shards of Narsil. Just throwing that out there.
When we saw that movie, Return of the King, in the theater, there was a scene where right before it's like Aragorn's sleeping, he wakes up from that nightmare, and then there's that dude from Rohan with the gigantic helmets. And when we were in theaters, someone like whether this it was all quiet, and this guy in the theater goes, "Look at my hat." And it was one of my favorite moments in movie history. Right next to when I was seeing Star Wars Episode 3, and it got all quiet. It's like it said, like a long time ago, to galaxy far, far away, and someone goes, "It's gonna say Star Wars."
That's really good. When I was watching Episode 3, I said this to a dude who maybe was autistic. I'm not sure, but anytime like something would happen, he would have some sort of hilarious reaction. So like when they said like Kashyyyk, he's like, "That's how you pronounce it." But that was his fucking voice, and it'd just be like, "Whoa, the Wookiees!" And he's like, "I'm like, dude, you're like 40. Like, what the fuck?" It was really funny.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then when fucking Padme or whatever the fuck is dying of being sad. Bleep bloop. Yeah, bleep bloop. She is dying because she is sad.
Scoop Hands Magoo, the robot.
He's like, "Oh no, Padme." I was just like,
"What about Padme?"
Yeah, I was just like, fucking, hey, this guy is the fucking best.
You killed her.
No. And when Anakin killed Count Dooku, he's like, "Take that, Dooku."
That's pretty funny.
I was just like, what the fuck? This guy's the best. I just wanted to watch all Star Wars movies next to that guy.
Yeah. Sometimes those are the best people. Like,
oh yeah, because like the thing is, his shit was on point, and it was but he wasn't doing it to be funny, but it was fucking hilarious.
That's probably the first time he left his basement since like 1983 when Return of the Jedi came out.
That was like when I saw Joanna Man in the theater, and it was just me. It was just me at the back and one black dude all the way in the front. and he would say like something snappy, and I'd be like, "Ha, yeah!" And he'd be like, "This guy gets it." And it was like we watched that film together. Yeah. Me and this random stranger had a very
sincere moment
while watching Joanna Man.
Which by
Which
the way,
is a pretty mediocre film.
I mean, it pretty
However-
much killed Orlando Jones' career.
However, was made much better by my compatriot also watching
Yeah.
said film.
I mean, let's face it, Orlando Jones topped out at Evolution. Joanna Man just went.
Oh man,
so-
you know what? This is one of the problems with cinema nowadays. Is everyone is so safe. Every company is so safe.
Yeah.
and also because budgets are so insane. Like
You can't take any
a
chances.
flop
yeah.
would be a Titanic disaster for any company that isn't Disney.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, look at what's going on with Sony right now. Sony hasn't made like any money with its movie division this year.
Oh yeah, it's that Fantastic Four movie was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Although was that Fox?
That was Fox.
Okay. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. Well, they're banking on Age of Apocalypse right now.
But like there's all the deluge of like superhero movies, but like shitter movies are not like a thing that like happens frequently anymore. Like I used to love that was one of my hobbies is like I'd see a movie that looked really bad, like Joanna Man, and I'd be like, I'm gonna fucking go see that in the theater. And I would go see that movie in the theater, and I would generally have a really good time.
What about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2?
I didn't see it because I very much Paul Blart 1 wasn't.
You didn't need a sequel.
You didn't need a sequel.
You had your beginning, you had your middle, you had your epic battle, and then you
there
had
was
your
a-
end.
there was a story
There was a
arc.
finale.
But that movie was like I had some chuckles.
Paul
but
Blart literally was the Pacific Rim of the mall cop world.
It's true.
There's a smaller Paul, two smaller Paul Blarts inside Paul Blart.
Dun, 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 dun. He's like throwing a punch. However, Paul Blart, it hit some moments that made me chuckle. However, at the very end of that movie, there's a scene where he's running across the tarmac to stop a plane. And he's just like sprinting, and it's Kevin James sprinting in his security guard outfit, and he just trips, and he eats shit, and like slides on the fucking ground, and it's like a fucking crane shot, so it's pulled back really far, and just you see him just running, and he just falls. When I saw that, I fucking lost it. I fell off the couch. I was laughing so hard because it's this dramatic character turn where it's like, holy shit, this totally inept security guard is about to go save the day, and he fucking just falls. And there was nothing there. He just falls. Oh, fucking Stooges style slapstick humor is just like, oh, fucking gets me.
I remember I was in. I think it came out around the same time as my anniversary with my wife, and we were out of town. Just like I think we were up in Milwaukee that year, just on our anniversary, weekend out. And we were at this restaurant, and we were talking with our waitress, and we're we're gonna go see a movie tonight, and she's like, "Oh, I can't wait to see Paul Blart 2." I'm just like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!"
That's good.
Like, who the fuck goes and sees this?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's not enough of those like
Bad
movies.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I find that when I watch a movie like that, like that's made in earnest,
Yeah.
and that's the thing too. Movies like Sharknado are bullshit.
Yeah, because you have to watch a movie that's made serious. Like that's part of what makes The Room. That's the
Dude, Tommy Wiseau like put his soul into that film.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to. That's what makes that movie good. And
Tearing me apart, Lisa.
and like Troll 2, like the other one that people call it the worst movie of all time.
Those people loved that movie. Like they were
Yeah.
like, this movie's perfect.
Yeah, good old Harry Potter.
They're a little. That movie was also supposed to be called Goblin.
Yes,
Because there's not a fucking troll
in it. Not blog.
Nilbog. It's Goblin backwards. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So
So stupid.
Nilbog. Things made in earnest generally produce some sort of like. There's train wreck movies like Troll 2 and The Room, which
Yeah.
are their own
Separate,
kind of
yeah.
thing. But like movies like Joanna Man and Paul Blart. Like sometimes there's this like. There's a little thing about it that's just like, hey, that moment that was really funny. Like they did a good thing. They tried for this movie, and they had a little bit of a success. And at the end of the day, like that's what you want in a movie. Like you want, movies are for the most part forgettable. Like
well, that's
very much so.
I mean, my feeling is that what's actually going to happen in Hollywood, and this is, the guy who lives in the Midwest, has no actual Hollywood connections whatsoever, just kind of feels out trends. I think what's going to happen is not necessarily the superhero genre is going to collapse, but it's gonna like contract. Like, what's going to happen is it's only going to be Marvel and DC putting out superhero movies. You're not going to see like Fox and Sony and all these, because they're done with it. They can't make any money off of it. And this whole concept of like the world building that they were trying to do, like Universal tried to do it with the monster movies, and that just failed horribly. Like with their Dracula movie, that was awful.
Dracula Untold.
Yes, just bad. But,
Really? That's a shame.
It was awful.
That's a shame.
I mean, you might like it. I can't speak for everyone, but I was just like, this movie is bad.
I heard I Frankenstein was pretty good.
No. That movie was even worse.
Oh, nice.
I like Aaron Eckhart, but man, he's got to pick better roles.
Thank You for Smoking is a good movie.
Oh, Thank You for Smoking is
The
amazing.
great state of Vermont will not apologize for its cheese.
Fucking love William H. Macy.
Can't we come up with some sort of throwaway line like, "Oh, thank God they invented that thing so we could smoke up here"? But yeah, I think that's going to happen. And like, so these bigger studios who rely on these big budget movies, they're just going to collapse.
They're trying to create franchises.
that
are not.
they're not going. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So that's all going to go away. So a lot of studios are going to go back to the smaller indie comedy styles, you know, like the mid-budget comedies.
Yeah, I mean, well, some of those low-budget comedies are making fucking bank, like that Amy Schumer movie.
Yeah,
What
but that was a
was it?
Judd Apatow
Trainwreck.
Yeah, that was a Judd Apatow back. That was a bigger
But even
production.
then, budget-wise, that movie wasn't high budget, and like it made a lot of fucking money.
Spy with Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, I think that I don't know how that movie did. I saw that movie as well.
Ghostbusters.
Ladybusters. Yeah, that movie will probably be pretty good too.
That 4chan picture still makes me laugh every time I look at it.
I haven't seen it.
With all the it's all the female cast of Ghostbusters like in this room with the sick dying kid. Like they went to a hospital for like Make-A-Wish, and there's this kid who's like lying in there like dying, and they're all dressed up like Ghostbusters, like smiling. I'm like, holy shit,
That's fucking horrifying.
it's like the best juxtaposition of anything.
That's fucking creepy.
Yeah. All right, so we're over. Do we? I want to talk about just one Kickstarter.
Oh, man. We should just do a movies podcast.
No, I already have one of those.
Yeah, but you just talking about Marvel.
No, we're done with Marvel. We finished up Ant-Man last week.
So what do you get? Oh, DC now?
No, we're just doing superhero movies. So
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about this is movies in general, not superhero movies. Fuck superhero movies.
well, that's the whole thing. It's like we're going back. We're doing Batman. We're gonna do a couple like weird ones here and there.
Are you gonna do the Roger Corman Fantastic Four?
We're talking about doing that because it's like it's
Now
not.
that's a film made in earnest, and they nailed the look. Like, all of those characters, they fucking look like the Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, it's fucking unbelievable how. Like when I had a movie night just not too long ago where we actually watched the Roger Corman Fantastic Four because it's all online,
Right.
And it's just like everything about it is pitch perfect. It's exactly what you want in a Fantastic Four movie. As I said, I think my only problem with it was that it was made in the 1990s, and it looks like it was made in the 1980s.
Right.
So I mean,
Well, because Roger Corman's a cheap ass.
yeah. So I mean, if like you put a little budget behind that movie, you make the effects good, it would actually look pretty decent. The as I said, my only problem is this is like Dr. Doom. He's got that swishy felt cape, and so it's like he turns around. It's like,
Yeah, yeah. But they nailed the aesthetics of the characters.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's definitely straight up better movie than any of the other Fantastic Four films.
I kind of like the first one.
Dude, I hated the first one. That was
The
so
second one was
fucking
bad
bad.
when
Cloud Lactus.
yeah, Cloud like that wasn't even the bad part. The bad part was the fact that the bad part of both those movies was Doom because he never once talked in the third person, and you can't have a movie with Dr.
He's
Doom.
not Doom.
Yeah. Where Doom, you should never see Doom's face outside the mask. Mm-hmm. You could have anybody. You know who you should get to play Doom is you get fucking Agent Smith. You get fucking Elrond to play fucking Dr. Doom. That's my Dr. Doom right there.
He'd be pretty good.
Yeah, it's like
He was great in V for Vendetta.
Richards.
I don't know if he could do his thick Latvian accent.
Latveria is Richards.
Latveria, it's Slavic.
The former we are at what I always call it, the former Yugoslav Republic of Latvia. Latvia. Latvia is an actual place. Latvia is a country in the Baltics. No, Latveria.
Latveria.
Yeah.
We are from Latveria.
Yeah.
We're Latvians.
We're Latverians.
Would you like a Latverian cream donut?
Oh God, this is terrible. What's in it?
Latvian cream. What is that made of? Roaches.
He's all that survives out here.
It's roach milk.
Roach milk. Get your roach milk filled with vitamin R.
That's good.
So really quick, the others, Cool When You're Not game, the new one that they just put out. You see it?
Isn't that? I didn't look super deep into it, but it looked like a total ripoff of the game made by our friends at Titan Forge.
Titan Forge, the one that they just put out.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna.
How does Cool Mini do that? They piggyback these games like super fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. It's definitely different thematically. It looks similar in terms of like mechanics and like support that you're getting for it. But it's a very different game. It looks kind of actually more like a Hellboy game than anything.
Okay.
I'm not sold on it. The minis look nice.
It'll probably be fine. Like the Cool Mini games all exist in a very cool area.
I do like this though.
They all exist. Yeah, that thing's fucking sweet. This is the Abominations, the Avatar, and the Controller.
Yeah, that thing's pretty cool looking.
The Sloth Avatar. Yeah, those are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But I like the Cool Mini games because they exist in
a vacuum.
well, they all are their own self-sustaining like standard games. Like they're done. They're complete with possibilities for add-ons. But I like that they are in a board game / miniatures game. Like they kind of made that market was Homicide.
Yeah, I like the idea of it being self-contained. You don't got to worry about buying 1,000 expansions or different figure packs or anything like that. Except if you're playing Zombicide. But
right, but I mean, the Zombicide expansions again, they're still like you buy this expansion, everyone uses the same stuff, which is, I think that's really the future. I think Wrath of Kings, the way Wrath of Kings is designed as a miniatures game, but the way that it's sold, the way that it's packaged, I think that type of model is and the board game miniatures game is the future proof of like that is like it's current, that's the present, but I think the future of miniatures games down the line is going to be that model. I think the 40K style, even the War Machine style, and this isn't an easy dig at Workshop or whatever, but like I think the old style, the old guard of miniatures gaming where I buy my stuff, I have all of my rules, you buy your stuff, you have all of your rules, we meet together to play, that's going to die. That's going to go the way of the dodo at not soon, but it will.
I'll disagree with you, but I see where you're coming from. I do. I just what I like is I like the method that actually I think it was Privateer Press kind of started, where it was, hey, this box, this is the unit. You don't have to buy any more, but you don't have to make the unit. You can't make the unit bigger. This is all that you're going to have for this unit. So if you want this unit, you just have to buy this box.
Yeah, they did that when they did the Mark II Switch.
Yeah, when they did the Mark II. That's so you get a
because it ceased being a army game like 40K because you take the unit at 6 or at 10. Period. There's no because it used
there's
to be
no in between.
Right.
Yeah.
It used to be this model costs this many points, and you would build sized units.
Such a much better way of doing it.
Yeah, which is why that's again Wrath of Kings is that style as well. Except Wrath of Kings has the way it's packaged is just so good. It's like, this is the starter box. It has fucking everything. Yeah. Would you like to expand on the everything? Well, you can buy a unit that's also in your starter box, a unit also in your starter box, a special model also in your starter box, if you would like to add more. The game caps, it's like, this is how many models you can bring. There's no points. It's like, bring this type of model. This is how many there are.
Yeah.
I like that style. And then I think the games like 40K and et cetera, I think those games will end up being pushed. They'll be forced to like compress like Dark Age style where it's like you only have this like a few models.
Yeah, no, I don't think 40K is ever going to learn its lesson. I think 40K makes money on its own.
Oh no, 40K, just like it will last for a long time because it's just the IP is very strong.
Yeah. The IP is strong with this
fucking
one.
is. But
no, I think,
and I'm not saying it's probably not even gonna happen in my lifetime, but like
in my lifetime,
that's just like where
3,000 years in miniature wargaming future.
Not even that. Like it'll be like
it's the same thing except everyone's riding around in hover wheelchairs instead of like fucking.
I know,
puffs.
like because I mean I hang out at game stores. And I know a lot of people who are like almost half my age, and there's no like the people playing miniatures games now. Almost all are people who played miniatures games in the mid 2000s.
Yeah,
and then like there's not a lot of new young players getting into miniatures games.
Yeah,
that's not a growing. You know, it's people our age
those kids.
Getting into miniatures games, and we are getting our peers into miniatures games. And every single younger person I know who gets into a miniatures game is specifically because someone from our age group got them into said game.
I don't want any damn wiener kids in my mini games.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, it will never really affect us, and it'll probably never affect anyone listening here.
However, I do like tabling damn wiener kids in games. I love it. I love it so much. Why don't you bring a good army, wiener kid?
No, Billy. I rolled irresistible force. That means your unit with Grimgor Ironhide, this guy, your hero, who you wrote Billy on his little chest, because obviously he's Billy the Orc, which is you, Billy. You in this unit, Billy, with your friend Grimgor Ironhide. You're fucking dead, Billy. All of you are dead. You just fucking knock his models over.
Who's this, Billy? Is this Billy Sue? Is that who this model is?
Is this Billy the Orc? Billy the Orc is fucking dead.
Yeah. Good.
You just smash it in your hand.
You just take it, you rub it on your balls, and you put it back on the table. Smell it, Billy. Smell it.
Yeah,
Smell my balls.
I've never played a damn Wiener Kid in a game.
Oh, I have.
I only when I was employed at the workshop did I play.
Oh, yeah.
But that was always fun because I would always I'd make it like a it's a challenge.
You play. Oh, I thought. Well, like when you're given a demo game, you play your Steve Hammer. And,
No. Steve Hammer was always fun, but like
roll your dice. What'd you roll? A 1. You hit.
Yeah, no. What I always did is I made them roll in front of me, and I was
I
just
don't get it. I was so good at the demo game.
I pointed, and I'm like 5, 5, 4. Those all count. These guys died. I did that once because a kid wanted to play the orc because he's like, oh, these guys are cool, and I was like, all right, cool, orcs. Like, I'm surprised this kid doesn't want the Space Marines, but sure. And then like when he killed my last guy, I was like,
That's like Street Fighter.
I lifted him in the air, and the kid was just like, he was just fucking beyond stoked that he just like bodied me.
Dad, can we get this game? No, let's go.
Yeah, but no, like the staff challenge was always fun because I always made it up. It was just like, are you sure you can handle this kid? And then I would just the time I got challenged by Rudiger and his friend in fantasy, they both brought 2,000-point armies, and I brought the Tzeentch Demons list of Be'lakor. That was funny.
Good times. All right, so that's about it for the week. Go to planarbitrary.com for all your Plan Arbitrary needs. You can follow me on Twitter at planarbitrary. You can follow Steve at the Game Classy Facebook page, /Game Classy Podcast. Best way you can help out the podcast is to like, comment, and subscribe on iTunes. You could also like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube page, Game Classy Podcast.
5-star iTunes.
What? I did.
5-star iTunes.
5-star on iTunes. 5-star on iTunes. 5-star on iTunes.
Do it.
Babylon 5.
Make new iTunes accounts and give us more 5 stars. How come we aren't doing that?
I don't know. We should. They probably have some like sort of algorithm for like whatever IP address is putting it on.
Well, and do it from home. Do it from work.
Yeah.
Do it from friends' houses.
Do it from friends' houses. Where's your iTunes? Let me get to
Give me that shit.
Give me that shit. You could also like our sister podcast, the Play On Podcast, which has Steve as a co-host, where they talk about video games, and him and Pat kind of jerk each other off about.
We love it.
About like how much they love amiibos.
We fucking love it. We fucking jizz all over each other's chests.
Nikki's on the podcast now,
It's fucking
and
delicious.
Giuseppe. I don't know who Giuseppe is.
He's young Giuseppe.
Who I don't know who that is.
Exactly.
He's just
Young
some
Giuseppe.
weird dude that you had on the podcast. I'm like, who's this guy?
Exactly. He exists outside of your reality.
He does. That's out of my reality bubble. And also, you can listen to the Comic Book Logic podcast that Kevin and I do, where we talk about comic book movies. And next week will be the 1989 Batman. Da-da-da-da-da.
For Dance with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight.
I don't know what that means. I just think it's something cool to say before.
It just sounds fucking cool.
It'd be awesome if you used it. Just sounds fucking cool.
Yeah. Where does he get those wonderful toys?
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
I remember seeing that movie in the theater.
I do too. 1989.
My fucking mind was blown. Like, and I mean, I was fucking 5. So like the fact I remember the experience of going to the theater, and I remember it was just like Batman.
Bad dance going on.
The bad dance. Get the funk up. Bad dance.
Fucking what's his name? Jack Palance in the movie. Say this, son of a bitch.
Oh,
Jack, you're my boy. That movie is just like, there's no way of describing that movie. That movie just
it's a good fucking movie.
It's
I think you can describe it like that. It's a good fucking movie.
That movie is like it's Lovecraftian. That's the way of putting that movie, because it's non-Euclidean. There's no, it doesn't exist in anyone's reality.
Just Tim Burton's.
You watch that movie and your eyes start to bleed sometimes, but you're not like, it's not like bad.
It's pleasurable.
It's pleasurable. And it's like
in the Mouth of Madness. When he looks up and he's like, "Do you read Sutter Kane?" So for you, you're just like, "Have you seen Batman?"
Exactly. And it's like it's like someone taps me on your shoulder. Like I'm watching Batman, someone taps me on my shoulder. I turn around and I have no eyes, and it's just blood dripping down.
Your eyes are mouths.
Yeah, but I'm like smiling at the same time.
Love that joke.
All right, so Steve, until next time.
This is Saul Spider-Man. I heard you mention me on your podcast. I'm gonna sue.
Game Classy.